It never fails, but every time I hop on here, something pops up. So look what we'll do. Try to find the best angle. I don't know if there's gonna be a perfect spot for this. What's up, everybody? From Indonesia. That's amazing. Hola de Donda San. Hola. Hopefully I said that right. Hey, this is the bear that we started live streaming Friday, and I decided to go ahead and let it sit for the weekend, kind of dry out. Had some other stuff I had to get done anyway. So what we'll do is we'll detail it. It's gonna be another long form video. I'm not gonna go super crazy. We're gonna do good detail, but it's just gonna be an inventory piece in between some other things. So I'm gonna start with my roto zip with this burr bit on here. And all I'm gonna do is just kind of like dig in some of the facial structure, the nose, around the mouth, add some more bonage. And again, we're not going too crazy with like bones, right? Because again, bears have a lot of fur. You don't see a lot of it, but just enough. But we'll just start forming everything, seeing where stuff's gonna lay. You kind of see I'll start dragging around. And all we've done so far is chainsaw and grinder. So this is just chainsaw, grinder work. It's just another bit in the process. So I'm going to be on it for a minute. I do have my tablet going, so if you have any questions or anything, just let me know. Try to get as close as I can. Alright. So I just use this bigger bit just to kind of cut in some more before we get into the Dremel side of stuff. Like I said, I don't even know if it'll pick it up barely on the camera or not, but just kind of setting things in. And so we'll just kind of define some more things as we go with different bits, different tools. But you can kind of see the shapes are forming together. Again, this is another just cuts all bit that we're going to use. This is their extreme coarse. So it does move a lot of material. This pine's a little wet, so it's going to get a little gunky. But we're going to cut in the detail for the nostril and start cutting in the eyes. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And then we'll get into the furring process. But let's get it. trying to get this right eye. If you're looking at it, the right eye. Matching with the left eye here. What's up, Carlos? All I'm looking for is look at the symmetry. So we're just going to just go through some bits. So, I mean, honestly, you can spend forever and ever and ever kind of refining and defining. Inhaled some sawdust. like I said, they can sit there forever. You can work on one piece the rest of your life. And so we're just looking forward to somewhat of a happy medium. Where it's got great personality, good detail. This is another bit that we're going to be using. This is more of a pointed bit. The other one I think was like a teardrop bit, as they call it. So this one has a nice sharp point on it. So the eyes have been something I've been working on for a while. I haven't got quite figured out the way I want it to be. But each piece is getting a little closer. But we'll get there. But this, like I said, with this pointy bit, we're going to come in kind of, golly. That's what I get for carving with my mouth open. Put some harder lines through everything. And come and cut the eyes. This pine's a little fuzzy, so sometimes it gets lost. In fact, we'll do this right now. Sometimes I'll just add like a little burn. Just to kind of see where we're at with stuff. Make it a little easier to see. The eyes definitely need a little more work. So we're just going to come through here and use this bit and cut them in. Trying to make a mess. I think they would call it decent. God, it's just so close. lot better. What's up, Pastor? It's getting there. There's a balance of turn my headphones off, probably yelling at you. There's a balance of chasing. I'm doing here. A little more of a tone shape on the view. Pretty rich point where take a break from it. We'll give a some fur now. So fur-wise, we're going to do, I like to start from the bottom up. Give it a little bit of a layering effect as much as I can. And then we're going to we're not going to come straight down with everything, right? So we're going to kind of like flare this out, bring this in, flare this out on both sides, bring this out. I'm trying to see about a marker, but you know, we're not just coming in here and just putting random. There's a flow to it, right? And so, like, well, this little sleeve of belly here that connects down through here into the arms. Maybe a little different direction than the legs, so it'll break it up a little bit. And what we're going to use is just a router bit. My pops came up with this many years ago. And we've been using it ever since. Not the same router bit, obviously, but the same concept. So, can I take this? Yeah, let's cut some hair. Helps if you plug it in. RG, I appreciate that. It's coming along. Yeah, it's coming along. Alright, so we got the main furring part done. So you can kind of see, like I do a little sporadic. I kind of follow this fat roll here, and kind of pushes out here, and pushes down here. I just follow it all the way around, and the lines are just kind of sporadic. Like when I first started doing it, everything was just very very straight. Now I just add like some randomness. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna grab my dovetail bit. Tablet's almost done. So I'm gonna grab my dovetail bit, which is like my that's obviously not what I think. No, it definitely doesn't taste as good. Yeah. So this is like one of my favorite bits. Dovetail bit, used for joinery, different things. I think with carving is finding and trying different things and different bits and making them useful for what you need. This one I like, where the other bit has two cutting surfaces. This one just has like a single blade effect, so you can get like some really fine furs. This long shaft die grinder, it allows you to get in some tighter places, kind of clean stuff up. I'll be able to get in between the legs here. I'll use this to cut in the nails, use it to cut in the mouth sometimes, and just go around different pieces, just to tighten everything up. So I'm not going to use it on the muzzle. Excuse me. We'll use a Dremel bit for that. I just found that it gives a little finer fur detail, and we'll kind of flow that into the head a little bit. So most of my pieces, like, will be real fine fur, medium coarse fur, and then down to like this stuff here. Yeah, next we'll cut in. We're cutting the nails on the paws. This is like one of my favorite things right here. It's about 10 years old. It's an old lawnmower jack. They make newer versions of it. You get kind of stuck in old habits and different things. That's what you see this thing. Sometimes it lifts, sometimes it don't. It's its own personality. It makes it fun. It's RG. Question. Go ahead with your question. Yeah. Yeah, I have an electric chainsaw. Go grab it real quick. Actually, the video right before this, I used it for a few minutes. So this is a Steel MS A70C, and this is like a tree trimming bar. Actually, I think it's a stock bar for this. I love it and I hate it, if that makes any sense. It's a great saw. Nothing beats a gas-powered one. I mean, definitely. And they're good in their own ways, and they're bad in their own ways on both sides. I love this for more of a finishing or like a detailing kind of process, or smaller stuff. Or if I need to make a quick cut, like this is my go-to, because you don't have to pump it, pull it, all that. You just grab it, it's ready to go. A lot of the bigger pieces, and I'll do it on the belly of this one, like I'll do that furring process. And I'll add a little deeper cut. Great little saw. I'll use it around the head a lot, or if I need to like it's a little more controllable, lightweight. The main thing I use it for, actually, though, surprise you, is for foam. So on the commercial side, we'll use a styrofoam base on the carvings, and between hot and ice and rasp and all these other things, like the chainsaw, like I can manipulate that, so I can get my rough out and then come back in with those stuff to kind of fine tune the styrofoam. I use it more than I don't. Sometimes I don't, but I like them. Do I use it every day for everything? Absolutely not. Could you very well could you carve with it? For sure. I'll make a long story short. Years ago, I had to tear down my shop because they were widening on the road, and all I could do is to complete the orders is carve in my little shed at the house. And all I had at the time, I had my normal chainsaws, but I live in somewhat of a neighborhood, and I had a lot of orders to do, so I was out there till 2-3 in the morning, and I had a little cobalt battery saw, but it took like the same batteries as my drill does, and that thing would die so much, and it was terrible. But I carved all my orders with it to get it done. So it depends on what you're comfortable with. If you're looking to get one, I don't not recommend it. Gas are loud. Yes, they are loud. I can use electric easier than gas. Spread prepare. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the electric saws are good for what they are. And you can very well, might take you a little longer on some things. Like, it don't matter. If you have like a spot like at your house or something, Actually, I'll say this too, as I'm thinking about, like, we'll do demo carves. So this year we did the Boys and Girls Club, and next year we have plans for about 150, 200 kids to come here and look at demos. That's not a good example of what we're talking about now. But we go do demos like we did on the courthouse. For the local library here, they had a big festival, so we're on the courthouse. We use electric saws. Just because they have like music and stuff going on, and they had so many other things going on. The electric saw was the answer. And so in some circumstances, we don't do a lot of demos. or go to a lot of events or anything, but just out of respect or just out of necessity, like we'll use the electric saws. They're great. I don't hate it. A long answer for a short question. Let's go ahead and get this finished up. Let's cut some nails in, and that's it. We'll use this on my head. A little more than I thought. Cut me the time pretty good. Yeah, let's please the girl. Cool thing about carving is it always got such a unique style. Everybody's so different. Do you carve? I don't even know if I asked you that, Miss RG. pick it up, but I just use kind of a like an S sweeping motion. Just to give it like multi-layer. Wispy. Nice wispy. Kind of follow this around. I'll kind of bring it up in the head a little bit. Randomly. I'll do the same thing in the wheels. Give it a nice finer swirl. Just have a little further. Around. I'll fill in some of these little spots. And that's real soft. for it. Go for it. I like that little line. I think we got some custom edge though. Ah, I didn't know that was you. That's awesome. All right. Miss RG. Alright, some customers. Artwork alloys. I think it's compliment, Kurt. I appreciate it. Sergeant. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't put two and two together. I hope you guys are doing good. Screen door got installed. Barely. Still have to do a couple things, but we got it there. So it's a little stressful moment when you guys showed up. I apologize if I came across in that type of way. I think it's good. So right now we're just going to burn it. I did go get tacos, and I think after the screen door, I think I just missed you guys. So we're gonna burn this pretty decently, and a lot of people ask me if we burn it for color, and we do not. We use paint for the black to burn it to that extent, just you lose so much detail. And I actually did something the other day that I forgot while we were talking. On this fur, I don't stress about it, so let me explain what it does first. So it gets rid of a lot of the fraying in the wood, kind of tightens everything in. It helps seals it a little bit. We're not burning it enough to really make that big of a difference with it. What I did last time, because like I said, on the finer stuff, not so much as bigger fur, you're not going to lose a lot. But on the finer stuff, I kind of did a reverse. So I would like to burn the whole thing. And then I did like my furring for the muzzle and stuff, but I think we'll be alright. It didn't make that significant of a difference. It did make a little bit of a difference. Come here, Ricardo. Bye-bye. See you, buddy. When you guys were in town here? Recently, any? Sorry. Got lost mid-thought there. Yeah. I'll take a wire brush and just kind of go with the fur. Just removing little pieces. Again, softening stuff up. to paint. So we're almost done. We're almost done. And this, we just use Rust-Oleum 2x black spray paint. Nothing special. I do like the Rust-Oleum the best versus Krylon versus any of them. It holds up the best, it seems like, and really covers it nicely. The trusty jack sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Perfectly imperfect. When I'm painting too, like, it's inevitable you're gonna miss some spots. I do try to look at it from many different angles. We'll spray up, down, left, right, everything in between, just to give the best coverage. I don't like little, obviously the wood's light underneath it, so I don't like little blonde spots. Nice coverage. I'm gonna light it on fire for a quick dry. It's a little chilly out here, but I do this too because some of the more stubborn pieces, that paint will burn it off. Create like a nice velvety finish. The bridge of the net will go for that. Well, thank y'all. Thank you very much. I do like to go a couple times. With the air compressor. If there's any sawdust that got kind of caked on, it'll come off. So it's real nice. Touch up spots here, and we'll touch it up one more time. I used to do this a little differently. I found painting the nose afterwards, especially with the water base. Acrylic makes for richer. I used to spray paint it and come back in and sand it off, but this just gives it a little bit. A little bit cleaner look. Vander's carving on some cypress over there. Hey, you can't even see what I'm doing, am I? That always tears up my sinuses. Charlie Edwards. I wish I had what you have. Well, what do you think that I have that you don't have? Get these boogers out of here. now this is where the piece really comes to life. And I've been dabbling with a few different colors, a few different things. But we'll use a combination of a couple different things. I'm going to use this dark brown as a base for my eyes. That should be really good. I'm good, man. I'm good. How much battery we got? Oh, we're good. The tools, the wood, just started to a bit envious. Ah, man, this has been a 20-year journey. When I started my own spot, 7.5 years ago, all I had was a chainsaw and a grinder, no money, no nothing. And I could tell you the whole story, but it's all God. And a lot of hard work. I'm here 6 days a week, trying to refine my craft, and made a lot of mistakes and still make a lot of mistakes. And but you don't need all this stuff. Trust me. All you need is a little drive, perseverance, a lot of prayer. When I say I started out with a grinder and chainsaw, I literally started out with a grinder and a chainsaw. And I had a Dremel that was like somewhat held together with duct tape and a little pop-up tent in February where it would just rain, sleet, snow, like all on me, no coverage. Like I was out here every day. And we're pretty spoiled. But I didn't have all this stuff. And honestly, it was way simpler back then. So, just over the years, I'll take on jobs just to pay for tools. At one point in my life, I was running the flea markets, and I would trade bears and pieces for tools. Like, it's been a journey. And that's just like the super duper, barely quick version of it all. But let me tell you this. If you're carving, do it for the love of the art. Do it for the people that you get to meet. Let your passion extrude. Because I have people tell me, I'm in the way again. I've had random people tell me, like, this is stupid. You're going to fail. It's a terrible business. Yada, yada, yada. I had friends try to talk me out of doing it full time for a living. So, I mean, you just keep going. But don't lose the passion. Don't let the business get in the way. At all. Because I'm guilty of that. Just because there's a shiny diamond in front of you doesn't mean it's the best move. And so, that's That's where the prayer comes in for me. Not to push anything, but that's what's kept me going. Or just for the kindling credit. Oh, dude, I still make firewood. Don't get it wrong. I still make a lot of firewood. And you want to know the truth? Like, I don't like anything I make. It could always be better. I'm my biggest critic. But be easy on yourself. Never reason to be that hard on yourself. You know? At the end of the day, we're just carving. Talking about mine the other day. It's like, you know, started with a chainsaw. It'll end with the chainsaw. And just do it for you. You have to get lost in the world and spend time with yourself. And it's therapy for me. It saved my life. So, you can tell when I haven't carved consistently in a while because I started getting a little built up there. And I keep watching videos, keep trying. I mean, it's awesome. It's never ending. But I'll tell you this, I gave my dad the first beer I ever carved in my life. And he immediately told me, you should give me the second one, because it was awful. But he still got it. He loved it. So. My son, saw your art. Just now and once, wonder better than anything. Well, you know where we are? I'm okay. Truly, it's a gift from the Lord, so it's all from Him. But I appreciate it. I don't know. I'm a humble artist. There's some cocky guys out there, but I don't think I'm a terrible artist. Some pieces definitely come out better than others. I'll definitely love to like work on a piece for like a year and push some detail and see what we can get done there. It'd be awesome. But thank you. I'll just say thank you because I'm not good at compliments. So. My biggest one of my biggest pet peeves, and I've said this a few times, is I tell other carvers and stuff, like, finish your carvings. Spend time on the base, sand it down nice, get rid of your overcuts, all that stuff. Like, this is as equally as important as this is to me. So we're gonna spend some time just clean this up quite a bit and get it looking good. we're gonna do something a little silly. It's gonna seem a little silly anyway. I can find my tool. Oh, here it is. So we're gonna take all this. Take this big brush. This big brush and get all this dirt and grime and stuff off the tree. And this is just taking all the dirt from the flown, not flown, everything. Really softening everything up pretty good. And I'll tell you why it's a little counterproductive. Do you carve and hate it when you go back the next day? And go, well, it's not that bad. Yeah. So kind of through the whole process, I'll be like, oh, this is kind of flowing nicely. Things are coming together pretty decent. And then when I get everything painted and stained, and the more I look at it, the more I can't stand it. But that's the artist in you. That's what keeps you going. See, we're kind of in a high volume area, so there's like a balance that you have to do. And even with carving in general, what I recommend is um, when you see things, because I see stuff in this piece that I want to do differently. But when you see things in your piece, just do it on the next one. All right, unless it's something like completely obvious or just way whatever, just finish it, do it on the next one. Finish it, do it on the next one. Because every piece you're gonna see something, right? What helped me in the very beginning was drawing. So I would study like fur patterns, I would study muscles, I would study bone patterns. And really in the last, I've been carving over 20 years. But I'd say really in the last years when things started like refining a lot more. And it's not something that you're just gonna do overnight, right? And so um, for us, we have inventory pieces, right? So we got pieces that we put out. What I recommend carvers do is have a piece to the side, right? So have a piece, have your normal carvings, and have a piece to the side. If you're not at that point, don't listen to this at all, but have a piece to the side that is like your freedom piece, your testing piece, your trying piece, you know. But everything along the way is all going to be happy accidents. You're like, oh, I like that, or oh, I don't like that, or oh, I like that, oh, I don't like that. It's those things that you want to try and change. And I could show you pieces from a year ago that are completely different. You know, all this like digging underneath here. And the last video was the chainsaw. I kind of talked about it a little bit. You know, kind of pushing some things here, pushing this and pulling this a little bit more, digging around that arm a little bit more. And for me, like smoothing this, simplicity is harder than like all these extra stuff, right? Like I could come in and put like this, what looks like insane detail, but it's not, you know. And this is just my personal opinion, but it's just ever evolving. So like, don't be hard on yourself. Use it as encouragement. I'll be raw if my ADD kick in, but use it as encouragement to try new stuff, right? Like we do a lot of bears. I've made tens and tens of thousands and thousands of them. And they're still learning. I'm still fresh with it. Still trying new stuff. So that's what keeps you going. So just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. Amen. Charlie, let's see if we can do that. What was your first carving and how did it go? What does Bob the Bear cost? You can come talk to me if you want to. Where's the bear going? For sale. What was your first carving? How did it go? Oh, dude. My very first carving was a whale's tail. Like just like something that was coming out of the ocean, or it's just like a curvy tail. And it was terrible. There's no doubt about it. I burned it. I wish I wouldn't have, but I did. And I made a lot of crappy attempts. You know, the beginning part of your journey with carving is the most exciting part. If you don't have any orders, right? Like you don't have deadlines. You're just out there for the fun of the art. And enjoy it as much as you can, because as you grow, people are going to want you to start doing more things. They're asking you, hey, can you make this for me? And you're going to say yeah, and it's going to be frustrating because you're trying to figure out new stuff, and it's going to help you grow. And so just enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. I did a bear. If you look at the Facebook page, Pat Buckley Show, I did a bear a few weeks ago that was just like something that was on these people's property already, so they wanted me to like recreate it. And it was just a rough hair. Very little grinder work. Very square, minimal cut. This is the hardest day I've carved in a while because I so badly wanted to like roll it and like just like do my normal style. But that's when I started. My bears look the same. And so, and you got some talented carvers over there in UK. I think James Elliott. I think he's over in UK. I don't know these people personally, but I watch other carvers all the time. I look at their cuts and vice versa. You know, we have really awesome channels. Like, I haven't even seen his stuff in a while. I don't know if he's still doing it, but Jordy Carbon Fusion. She does more like hand chisel stuff, but he's got great. He helped me with my carving. We used to say this thing, carve deeper. And that changed carving for me. So you're gonna take and give so many different things. You're gonna walk by things. It's gonna give you inspiration. Like I look at pictures from coupon books here that have bears on the front of them. I'm trying to get this. It's getting pretty dark out. So enjoy the ride. But don't be so hard on yourself. That's the easiest thing in the world. Just to critique yourself. Lord knows I do it, but there's no reason to. It's an expression. It's a freedom. It's an amazing medium that has led me into metals and clays and styrofoams and there's all kinds of different stuff. And lately, I had a bunch of people want me to make them furniture. I'm not a furniture builder. It's getting dark. So we're going to get staying on this. Alright, so this is what I was saying earlier. I took all that bark and stuff off. And I'm going to add a little golden oak stain to the side to recreate that. What we sanded off. It is cleaner. It's a lot less mess. So that's why I do it. It gives the same look, but it just looks more polished. And I used to stain them all the same color, the base and everything. I like a little separation. So we sand the base to make it look like it did before we sand. I gotta go put my phone on the charger because it's about to die. Hold on 1 second. I'll be there Wednesday. I will be here Wednesday as well. So many heads have been cut off. Thing is, when you get a little right, hold on one. Hello? Yeah. Hey, bud. Doing good. How are you? I hear you. Oh, hey, bud, knows that. Yeah, when's the show? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you want me to mail you a check? Is that what you said? That's fine. No, we'll do two. We'll do a couple for you. Yeah. 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 No, yeah, for sure. You guys have my address on file? Okay. Yeah, man. What did you guys take care of? Of course. Yeah, thank you, bro. Hope you have a good Thanksgiving. And hopefully, anything else in your heart. Alright. For sure. Sure. Man, it's gotten dark. I'm just adding some Ipswich pine stone. So I use golden oak on the base. And I like Ipswich pine because it leaves like a goldish hue for the muzzle. And then I'm going to stick this back in my building. And I'll move the camera so you guys can take a look at it. We'll let it dry overnight and put some clear coat on it in the morning. Oh, yeah. All right. So we'll blow them off one more time. me get back to questions real quick. I've so much and so many heads have been cut off. It does lift your spirit. Yeah, like I said, don't stress about it, because it only gets harder. So you might as well have a good time. Like, the more you learn, and sometimes a piece doesn't come out. The wood does what it wants to, right? So sometimes it just doesn't come out the way you want it to. It does get frustrating. I'm not gonna say I don't ever get frustrated, but don't let it frustrate you. No. Boom. I'm gonna stick this in my shop, like I said. I'll move the camera in here. And we'll call it a night. It's crazy. 5:45 here in East Tennessee p.m. It's so dark. Don't mind my shop, shed, whatever. So yeah, we'll let it dry. We'll do some touch-ups in the morning and all that. So this be him. So, like, where I just touched it, the paint's still a little tacky, so that's all that gets on there. The stain will soak in. I just kind of brush it around, then I'll paint it again. And then we'll do some clear coat tomorrow. So I guess I'll show you around real quick. So I do have a couple other carvers with me. It's awesome. We'll get to learn from each other. This is the best barbecue in East Tennessee here. We got a little farmer's market here. And this is kind of our display area. And this is the little gallery here. So Vander just finished these pieces. I made these ones over last week. This guy. And I have an on-site carving to do soon, so I'm just trying to get back in the flow. The stump bearer finished up. A little goofier guy there. And this is our little gallery. So, how long has this been? 2.5 hours. Yeah. So, I'm gonna get some dinner. I had a bagel today, but we're gonna get some food. I got some office stuff to finish up, and get ready for a busy day again tomorrow. So I'm gonna hop on here as much as I can. If I do a live stream here this week again, which I probably will, I won't talk as much, which is a little impossible to say. But I'll be on the chainsaw tomorrow, and we'll just bust out some bears and do some stuff. I do want to do, Charlie, as I was actually came across my mind the last week or so. I wanted to do it a long time ago, but it just came back. But do like a progressive carving, so like, show one with just chainsaw work, and then show one with chainsaw to grinder and a couple tools. So like the beginning carvers or the guys just getting into it, like, do the tools make a difference? For sure, but it's the same with any trade. Do you absolutely have to have everything that's ever been made? No. And you're gonna find stuff that you like, find stuff that you don't, and so that's the exciting part. Like, I love buying tools, so I don't buy a lot of things, but I buy a lot of tools and dog food. But anyway, I'll be on here soon again. Miss RG, I'll see you Wednesday. I should be here most of the day. I'll probably leave a little about this time Wednesday. I've been training all week for Thanksgiving Thursday, so I got to hit it pretty hard the next couple days. So make sure I got enough room in there. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey of changing the world one piece at a time. It's been pretty cool. I love these conversations. I love to share stuff. I love to hear stuff. So thanks for being a part of it. And we'll see you guys real soon.